talk of a coup. Where is this
None of this
coming
is a
from?
coup. Like,
There's never been any.
Last time on Cringe or Kino.
Though I know myself and many others miss the adventures of the Cavaliers, the question isn't if .NET is coming back, it's a matter of when.
But Nyx, Sting, Scar, and a few others, please explain in the comments your justification for owning and adminning an ERP Discord while also running SSTRP. We'll have a like-minded discussion like men, and you'll be treated with respect and dignity. And all I ask for is an explanation. Silence speaks a lot for most, and your player base will begin to question why you own a Halo ERP Discord. According to his website, .NET will never come back to Gmod, and this is probably the last stop on the Starship Troopers gravy train. Consider this your great success. You guys spent 6 years playing SSTRP. For what? To live in the mediocrity and the EUPRP, Generation Roleplay, and other sheltered servers like Respite and Flux Theorem's Shadow? The only thing the server has going for it is its undying, loyal player base that will lick up any drop of action RP there is. It serves a niche and undying and loyal crew of SSTRPers who have played for countless years and have become the old boys. The narrative doesn't like for new players.
What's up, virgins? Welcome back to another episode of Cringe or Kino. On today's episode, we'll look into the deep, esoteric, and ancient lore behind a server called SSTRP.net. A little note about .net. They rose from the ashes of done right. Yeah, turns out Lynch couldn't do things right, and to make a long story short, the server died in the end. A fair bit of warning for the admins, players, and people who associate with .net. If you're one of the aforementioned groups, this video is not for you, so click out the video and return to your brain-numbing bar roleplay, or wherever the fuck you guys do for passive. This is for the new guys, so take a hike. .net on the outside looks like a well-put-together community with awesome Helix code, and a dedicated staff of 20 plus, but that's really just a facade. The community harbors 13 years of drama, hidden secrets, and most recently, an estranged executive admin team known as the Cronies, who only wanted to see the server thrive, but in the end, were removed for petty fucking reasons. I've never seen a server try so hard to be something it's not, in all my time on Gmod. Can we even call this a true to lore SST server anyway when so much has been changed and altered? This rabbit hole is deep, and the train wreck of a community, well, it's fucking morbid. Strap yourselves in as we dive deep into the last remaining Starship Troopers roleplay on Gmod. Will the server be as impressing as it sells itself out to be, or will it just be another mundane take on an oversaturated movie? Well, where do I begin?
Close your eyes, don't shine like they used to, like they used to shine. Yeah, the thrill is gone. Oh, the thrill is gone.
The .NET forums isn't anything impressive. We've seen it before. Even so, the admin team decided to keep this Kino comment I left on some self-serving hot bitches final journal post from .NET 2020. Yeah, it's so sad. The first thing that should be noted is the custom sweet lore that the server follows. That's right, the server has custom lore. And a long time ago, maybe years back, there's some kind of convergence, where the admin team diverted from the movie timeline and started making their own lore, effectively making the server custom by nature. An example of this is the progenitors, who have some kind of Mass Effect, Reaper species, or some bullshit like that, and they came down to Earth and started killing everyone. Well, the Federation won in the end as the mobile infantry corpsed them and sent them back to the fucking hole they crawled out of. And there was also some kind of civil war lore during this time where the colonies decided, hey, we're gonna fucking corpse the Federation. But as per lore, the Federation always fucking wins. The lore is deep in this custom space odyssey, but that's not what grabbed my attention. What grabbed my attention was usually the platoon or company you play as is like the self-serving disposable meat grinder. And everyone like mindlessly attacks the bugs, expecting the next mission to be more grueling and morally gray than the last. Though the server made a 180 and decided to make the platoon a planetary defense force of asshole pirates who acted all culturally proficient. Though the concept was ideal, it turned out everyone is playing some kind of mob-ass felon. I guess that's why one guy has his profile named as Sopranos, and why he literally uses Anthony Soprano as a face claim, because he's just some big shot mobster in game. When I was playing the server, I asked if this was some kind of penal battalion, and was immediately threatened by NCOs and told that crime simply doesn't happen here. Though the red-pilled PFCs told me that there's INSEC investigations by numbers daily, and there were fights all the time in the bar, painting a bleak and fucked up picture that the Corsairs were nothing more than just felons. At this point, I would suspend my fucking leaf. But we have to remember this is some custom lore and a couple nutjobs set up, so it couldn't be lore breaking if the server followed its own fucked up logic. Ironically, Decker's years ago ran an SST server where he followed the movie's lore, but the funny thing about Decker's server is he likes to play funny characters. For example, he had the guy named Dingo play a staff sergeant by the name of Tyrone Biggums. Now, Tyrone had 50 violent felonies to his name. Generally, in an SST server, you wouldn't be a felon. Serving in the MI, you just wouldn't be able to serve. But he was given the choice, serve in the MI or spend the rest of his life in jail. As well, Dingle played a character called Omar Carter, a real-life Canadian terrorist. But he was later PK'd for being a terrorist from the past, so to put things bluntly, it looks like some things never change when it comes to the realism of the server. So if you even step into the server, expect to join some kind of inside joke of a peanut company or wherever the fuck it's supposed to be. Looking inside out, the concept is retarded, and they butcher their own lore, unironically and unremorsefully. Kino SSTRP lore aside, the other part of the forums are really only used for the character biographies, back applications, and ban appeals. I'll start with the character biographies. Hey, message for Race Killer. Where's Anastasia Kreslina?
Consider this an author's note. This is a message to Ace Killer. Where the fuck is Anastasia Kreslina? Where the fuck is she? You can't hide her from me. I will find her. And once I do it, it will be fucking over. It will be fucking over for you. What the fuck is wrong with this server? Why is every fat, sweaty beta male on the server role-playing some super hot model Fuda bitch? How about you guys go outside, lift some weights, and get some fucking pussy? How the fuck do you spend 12 hours a day on this fucking server? Do you not have jobs? COVID is over. And the Delta variant is for pussies. It's time to get a job before you become permanent dog-brained detractors who stuff their faces with popcorn during events and constantly engage in Fuda erotic roleplay. What the fuck?
Quick note, this guy is simply obsessed with her and played her on Done Right SSTRP. Though at the time we didn't realize that Anastasia Kreslina is actually a real-life celebrity. Yeah, Ace literally roleplayed some chick celebrity as his weird awesome crush femcare. It's fucking creepy. I guess he realized he was role-playing as Cringe and opted for a more humbled super secret special forces operator than his previously hot as fuck IRL celeb babe. Besides the constant Kreslina drama, the biographies are broken up into 3 different kinds of profiles. The normal guys, the what the actual fuck biographies, and the hot bitches. Here at Cringe or Kino, we value the roleplay players bring as femcares, but apparently, by their own players' admission, these femcares might all be Fuda?
Sexy girl, I just fell in love. You should try it, it's a hell of a drug. Like OMG, you make me come, please.
Yeah, not sure where this discussion of Fuda comes up, but we know for a fact that one of the players is a self-proclaimed Fuda. I don't know why players sexualize themselves so much on the server. Even the owner has had enough of the ERP antics, but fairly supplied intelligence suggests that the server may have a long history of ERP, and that this is nothing new. Though like done right, they keep it in Discord DMs, so can we really hate on them? Also, a Broadhawk, thank you for ruining my favorite actor, Ryan Gosling. I simply won't be able to look at Blade Runner 2047 ever again, so I send my fucking regards. For the pack applications, this seems to be like some kind of When Worlds Collide attempt and restricting players from just joining with pack and making whatever the fuck. As well, it appears to be judged by the admins to make sure it's fitting for the setting of the server. So, could someone on the admin team explain the lapse of judgment behind Linus Cervantes' Pack 3 application? We'll have a civil, like-minded discussion where we'll discuss the deep inner workings of Pack 3 discussion. I'd like to see your comments below, so don't hesitate to comment, because we'll be waiting. I don't get the whole double standard, but I guess it's just a way to safeguard the server, but in reality it doesn't stop too much from the cringe or the weird packs I'm getting in. I get the whole, well, we'll deal with it I see, but if the platoon is some kind of felon paradise, who the fuck would give a fucking fuck? Think about it. Linus Cervantes is just a case example of what not to make for the server. I'm sure there were others, but that character just stands out. Also, they got PK'd, so it's already over. Also, who the fuck is this set dude? Who's all to see and why the fuck does he have rose-colored Ryan's pack? Just food for thought.
Cash flow. So what if we have you apply for Pack 3? We can't trust the average role player to not be fucking gross! Linus Cervantes is hot as fuck! And their pack fits the tone of our servers both aesthetically and federally. If you have an issue, go play Begotten 3 or Journey, you fucking virgin. Fuck you for questioning our Pack 3 policies. We're right, and you're wrong!
On to the ban appeals. The only one I really wanted to touch on was Broken Roses. The rest are old lore rape RPers, trolls, or victims of the .NET hate campaign. Broken Rose was this twisted, edgy 2012 roleplayer who just couldn't let go and conform with the .NET ways of roleplaying, which led to his ban. After a series of weird and twisted events, he would never return to the server until he began to post cryptic ban appeals, which were deleted. One night I was reading through one of them, and I found a link to his YouTube channel where he was live streaming and crying about being banned. Lo and behold, there were admins and players there in the live stream, egging him on. He eventually started loading a Ruger security pistol and was obviously distressed or fairly drunk. All of the .NET detractor staff left at the time, and it was just me in the chat. Meanwhile, some defamation narrative popped up claiming I was telling him to pull the fucking trigger, which is false. It just goes to show the admins at .NET will claim anything to put their detractors down. Moving on to their defamation campaign, apparently I'm a doxer, according to the Cindy dude, aka the confirmed Fuda RPer. Looking at this screenshot here, you can see he claims Rob Graves of all people doxed his parents. His claim is substantiated. See my video on Black Denim for the deep doxing lore. But later on, he claims that I was publicly posting his parents' docs. And as people ask for proof, he posts this comment I left on his profile, which is just a picture of his character in the leaderboard. He then changes his claim to Black Denim / Rob Graves doxing him. It seems the players of the server aren't that entirely honest. Speaking of players, one of them, Private Sped Warrior, is a huge porn game addict. Kind of weird given the nature of the server. But maybe then again, those claims about ERPing seem to go hand in hand with this new revelation. There's more drama and weird outgoings on the SSTRP server, but I'll spare everyone a 2-hour video of explaining it. If anything, the old guard, the estranged executive admin team, the Cronies, could do a better job explaining the 13 years of drama, and that's a job for them alone. They spent years cataloging and documenting the insane and twisted events that have occurred throughout the years and placing it in a Dropbox of all places. If I showed you the contents, you'd walk away from this video mentally fucking scarred.
Fuck the player count. Our stories rival all other Gmod RP servers. So what if all the players are mostly gone? We don't care. We got a story to tell. Yeah, the Federation is in trouble, Cashflow. Are you going to detract, or are you going to be a crazy DDoSer and doxer that we know you are? We know you killed Broken Rose and countless others. You're nothing more than a cataloging murderer. I hope you burn in hell!
As for the admins, they spend day by day looking for my alts or my hardware ID just to fucking ban me. I only realized this after I used up all my alts, though this wouldn't stop me from doing the review. I had to enlist some help from a deep cover operator within the community. As I logged into his account, I was quickly banned before I could go in my excursion as a verified federal medic. Though this is remedied by an even more esoteric alt attempt that passed through their checks without second thoughts. Enough with the negative parts of the server. Let's get into the good old-fashioned RP portion of .NET. Compared to done right, mechanically, .NET is superior. But do the mechanics really make the server, or will it be the downfall of .NET? Playing the server, I walked around for a while until I could find somebody to tell me what the fuck was going on. It would be PFC McGowan, or whatever the fuck his name was, who told me about the bleak reality I was in. Welcome to the Corsairs, or the Erotic Executioners, or whatever the flavor of the day name the platoon had. He told me I was fucked. I was in a platoon full of bad motherfuckers who did bad motherfucking things. Later on, outside of missions, I would hang around the bar, where players talked about sex, crime, and other mishaps the platoon got into. Looks like they had this cycle nailed to a T. For the missions, I played 2. The first one was simple. We came to a shithole plant to help the militia, and the first part of the mission just had me AFK in a mansion because there was nothing for us to do. The finale started after we caught some scout. I rolled a critical on a dexterity check and fucking clotheslined this twisted fuck before I tried to corpse the entire base. The whole time my popcorn bucket was empty, as I consumed as much popcorn as I could in this S2K fest.
I can see the sunset just inside of your bedroom. I know it's too soon to let it go. Everything you said echoing in my head into the afterglow. Street lights swaying in the wind at night. The freeways feeling like paradise. No time won't change it. Can't erase it. It's a long drive home. We can pass the time by counting all the stars and the satellites. No time won't change it. Can't erase it. I wanted you to know. I can see the sunset just inside of your bedroom. I know it's too soon to let it go. Everything you said echoing in my head into the afterglow. I remember that night like it was the first time. 2 of us caught in the undertow. Everything you said echoing in my head back and forth into the afterglow.
Promote to private, I can now officially TK people on the server, but to fully investigate the dynamics of the military RP anomaly, I had to refrain from corpse people by a bolo to peer deeper in this entrenched server. My second and final mission would be a multi-map romp through bug turf to kill some kind of big worm called the Analid. We were supposed to go and plant a nuke and corpse the bug hole, though things didn't go as planned. If it wasn't already obvious, the server has a medical system. If you get injured, it RPs your injury, and when you get healed, well, it does the roleplay for you. Basically, there's no need to RP, just put up your feet and enjoy the automated roleplay. If you want an in-depth long/me's and roleplay well, the server just isn't for you. Take a fucking hike. Instead of getting thousands of rounds to carry around, you carry a load of 20 mags. And you go to the supply crate to get ammo, so it's safe to say the server takes immense pleasure in its realism. One of the red flags of this pervaded realism was a hot bitch named Holly Garrett, who was kidnapped by 3 hoppers, which are flying bugs that pick you up and drop you to your death. Well, she was captured and took it back to the brain bug's lair. We later spent the majority of the mission just looking for this hot bitch. And when we found her, she was simply not injured at all. Really? Am I really supposed to believe the bugs did nothing to her? Is this a Seti 6 moment where Allard comes back from the chaos of insurgency captivity? All okay? We don't buy it, and I don't buy it either. There's a guy named Charles King who lost his leg and was beside Harley when we found him. Well, it looks like it is the same fate for him, but why did this Fuda bitch get spared, but not my boy Charles King? It makes you think. Also in this rendition, my pod, or mobile infantry pussies on deck, returning the fold of these badass washouts, or warrant officers. For some reason, they decide to lead this mission. I was stunned when all of a sudden in combat they activated bullet time. Like, really? Is this actually real fucking bullet time in SST? What the fuck were you thinking? Throughout the whole mission, these guys just made the bugs stack each other or use bullet time constantly. Not only were they being useless, it was fucking jarring and pulled me out of the realism of the entire event. At one point, a washout told me he'd corpse me for stepping on a bug. Yeah, I'd like to see you and your pussy Reaper gun try that. Yeah, that'd be the day. Early in the mission, APC exploded, which I was inside. About 10 people immediately were down and got injuries, but it was naturally voided due to some kind of NPC mishap, and the admins asked everyone to go back and carry on, except people in the APC, but they couldn't decide who was in it. Well, it looks like I pulled the boss move and walked away, and continued to corpse the bugs while they tried to find out who the fuck was running the APC. Well, it seems without UID, this admin team simply lacks its teeth to enforce and administrate the rule set of the professional server owner.
Wow, looks like someone is mad we don't PK out the ass here. During events, we take everything into consideration. So if you're captured by 3 hoppers, there's a good chance you won't die. It just how happened this occurred to Holy Garrett, and she lived without a scratch on her person. Stop taking everything so seriously. We're not a PK heavy server. This is about a good vibes and story. Don't get it twisted. In second, Impod and Marines all have 3 unique purposes. It's something you wouldn't understand unless you paid for at least 12 years for 12 hours a day. I don't think you could comment on how our divisions operate. Only true veterans of SSTRP can comment on these units respectively. So maybe you should shut the fuck up, since you can't back your statements.
To wrap things up, the mission was a success. Though the brain bug escaped, we corpse anal with a nuke. And Naz even put me in this cute little screenshot as bio. I was practically famous in game. All I had to do was get a Corsair tattoo and I'd be in. Though my character was not a felon, it would be out of place for him to become complacent in a platoon full of felons. So I opted not to get the tattoo. Any admins doubting my requirement to get the tattoo are free to check my inventory on the SQL. You may find something surprising in there.
Set me off like dynamite strapped tied around my waist. We are the ones in competition, but claim this ain't no race. Let's go! Take a breath and explode like bullets tearing through the wind. Coming up with a razor blade that tries to separate the skin. Now when the white flames of burning flags, we found the world worth dying for, yeah. We've been battered so hard that we don't feel anymore. Take me from this, will save me. What if we all die young? So take me from this, will save me. What if we all die young?
After this, I had seen all I needed to see to pass fair federal judgment of this server. Now, if you're interested in SSTRP, this server might be for you. If you get by all the drama, weird players, and behind-the-scenes rug pulls by the admin team. If you're here for the server's trigger-pulling action of corpsing bugs and laying waste in an alternate universe of SST, then I'd say this is your fucking server. Personally, though, the server is Cringe, not Kino. I say this without an ounce of remorse. If you aren't some SST cultist or brain-dead dark peer, your time is better spent on Journey, or your equivalent shitty nutscript server. Speaking of servers, Sidetone's administration team is releasing the Sex Havers merch pack, coming soon. So stay tuned to Sidetone's Discord for announcements on when this drops, because it's a must fucking cop. As for .NET, it will continue to be the one and only place for mediocre, alternate universe SST roleplay, like most old guard servers, Chakra Gaming, or EUPRP. It will simply never die. The point of the reviews for those who just don't get it isn't to kill a server, but to merely alert innocent Gmoders that maybe they shouldn't join a foodist shower ERP server, but perhaps play a superior server that has their best interests in mind. It's just food for thought. Though, if there's one thing I do know about SST, it's that nothing ever changes. It's what keeps these pussy whip community members in line and what draws them back. Some will grow up and move along, but most won't. It's a sad and pathetic existence. But with Gmod, that's just how it is. And I can see a community as big as this one, it's just another day, just another drop, and just another name on the memorial wall. Can we really blame them?
I am aware that I am an asshole. I really don't care about all of that, though. I got nothing to prove. But honestly, I'm just like you. I've got a bad case of ADD. I've been this way since
Well, out of curiosity, if I said we should go back and try and fix the MI at .NET, what would you guys say?
I couldn't believe so.
Oh, let me get it. Let me get it.
Pilot fish. What did you? Can I hear that again?
Can you say it again?
Yeah, let me hear that again.
Give me that again. I don't think I heard
What do you
that.
guys think about going back to .NET and doing events?
This is a rhetorical question, right?
Is this your thought, or are you conveying the question of another human?
I don't understand what's going on.
Hypothetical.
Are the 5G towers in the room with you right now? Are they controlling you?